All right, Mackey and Judd. We talk with our friend Patrick Reusse every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday here on the show and also on the Score North YouTube channel. You can also find Reusse Unchained in podcast form on Mondays. All right, give us your assessment, Pat, of a brutal Wolves loss.
I got to tell you, we were unchained yesterday, and that was before the brutal Wolves loss. I think I have a new hero though. Anthony Edwards, did you see the kid is not a grammarian, that's for sure, right? Did you see the quote that they ended up everybody's stories today? We ain't done nothing.
Yes.
You know how I just said on Twitter, you know how they always have their slogans, United We Run and stuff like that. That ought to be this year's slogan. We ain't done nothing.
He's right. I mean, he's right. They beat the Bucks. It's like, oh, there's the championship right there. All right, season's over.
The Bucks were only missing 60% of their lineup when they beat them too. That's no Drew Holiday, no Gasol, no Lopez, no somebody else. But yeah, that was amazing last night. When Suggs is your third or fourth best 22-year-old, you're pretty good, aren't you? They got something to think about. They got this Franz Wagner, and of course Cole Anthony just lights our boys up.
Yeah, I mean, they've got young talent, but they're 1-6, and you had a double-digit lead. I mean,
that's what I
make a shot for God's sake.
There's no, there's now. Now there was a little exchange with Jim Pete today because I made fun of Jim Pete. I guess maybe it was late last night. I made fun of Jim Pete saying we got to practice more on the on the Target Center court, and of course, he said it in the middle of the fourth quarter, and so there was a little exchange today.
Coming up next on Valley Sports North.
Yes. And my point is, if you say that pregame, right, that's fine, right? Why don't they come over here and practice more often, shoot on their own court? That's fine. But when you say it in the middle of the fourth quarter with the other team raining down threes from all over the place, it sounds like a BS and bad excuse. But
Jim's the one guy I always defend and say everybody else should take notes from Jim, and then he says that. I'm so disappointed. He's the one guy. On Saturday, as the Wild was flaming out again, and they were saying, "Oh, it's a tough road trip," and guys are coming around.
They're road weary. They flew coach. Yep. It's just terrible. Middle seats.
After you play the crackheads, it's going to be hard to come back against anybody, right? Yeah. Well, anyway, it was unbelievable last night. The fadeaway, wasn't it? They just stopped playing. It's incredible.
Well,
now
and Patrick, Beasley starts shooting last night. Like he was going to keep shooting, and he could. He made 4, but I think 2 of them were meaningless. So
he might have been their only hope, though. By the fourth quarter, nobody else was.
Where's Cat? Cat can shoot.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, it's like they keep talking about wanting to get him more shots, and they don't. So
but they're not doing it. Ryan Saunders' whole deal last year was to get Cat shots from 22 feet, right, away from the basket. They got him inside pounding this year, and he's still their best 3-point shooter. But how many is he taking? 3 a game, maybe.
Well, he took 8 last night. He was good. He was good last night. But here's a new rule. Malik Beasley should never shoot as many times in a game as Karl Anthony Towns. All right.
Yeah, that's true. They now they're Russell's. I get the impression. You know what? I don't think he's all in. D-Lo, I don't think he's all in. He's hurt again. He's got a sore ankle or something. He's not going to play for a while. So, Jordan McLaughlin or whatever the hell his name is becomes your point guard. And I don't know. I said last night, that none of us will ever learn, 30 years, I was convinced they're better. They're going to be better. This is better. And,
I think you're going to see a team. I think they're going to wind up evening out to like slightly below 500, and they're going to have some wins over the Bucks, and they're going to have some blown 15-point leads against the Magic. Like I think the wide range of things that this team can do on a nightly basis is probably wider than almost any team in the league.
The other night I was there. They looked great in the first half Saturday night, and then second half they couldn't make a shot. You thought their shooting was improved, but the one guy they phased out that played pretty good for him last year, the last 30 games, is McDaniels. He doesn't get any shots. He doesn't. What happened there? He looked like he was a prospect. He looked like he could help you, and he gets no shots. They kind of ignore him. I don't know what the operation is here. I think I like Finch. I think he's I talked to Johnny K about him. Johnny K thinks he's a basketball coach, but
he is.
He looked frustrated as hell last night too.
I honestly think Beasley, like last night, was a great example of like Beasley just sort of shipwrecked them, and he starts missing all these threes, and rather than just, all right, man, you're a role player and you're not feeling it tonight from three, just sort of fade into the background and grab some rebounds. He's like, no, I'm shooting 16 times until one goes in.
When you're him, when they give you the shot, take it. Don't spend a whole game trying to get it, because if you got the other guys on the floor, he's your fourth option and he's going to get open shots. So just remember that's where you are. But
he thinks because he scored 20 points per game on a bad team that he's the guy, right? It's like no, you're.
I didn't realize they had both of the Wagner brothers there.
Yes.
Because Mo had been in the league, Moritz had been in the league, but this Franz is an athlete, man. And then Mo came flying in for that dunk.
The flying Wagners.
Franz is the guy who gave the Gophers fits the last couple of years, right?
Yes, yeah. He was a high drafter. They had two high drafters, I think, Suggs and him. But that was just, I don't know. They just are what they are. I don't know. Cat, and you know what? We're gonna get the old. If it goes like this and there are 5 games under 500 at the middle of the season, we're gonna start seeing the cat wants out stories, don't you think?
I don't know this time. Yeah, I'm not sure. With I think he likes Finch. I don't. Pat. I think that might be done for at least, well, let's say a year. I think he's going to keep quiet. The D'Lo thing that you broached, I think is far more a topic. I'm curious about him more. I think Cat's fine for now. D'Lo, I don't disagree with what you're saying on that one.
Now, if they indeed, when they had Gerson, they were obviously committed to trying to figure out a way to make a Ben Simmons trade. And this guy's turning down 2 really good players from Indianapolis, supposedly, for Ben Simmons. But what could you possibly give them? They're not going to take Russell. Who are you going to?
It's got to be. It has to be a 3-team trade. Yeah. It would have to be a 3-team. That's what makes it more. That's why now that it's not the offseason anymore, it's a lot harder to pull a 3-team trade in the middle of a season. Yeah. So the ship has probably sailed. Now that you watch D'Lo, even when D'Lo doesn't have an ankle injury, like he's had some really bad shooting performances. It's like he doesn't play a lot of defense. But I don't know. I'm just kind of I thought if the Ben Simmons thing was going to happen, it had to happen like 2 months ago. And I just don't know how it's going to happen now.
Well, I still think the highlight of the year, though, is you guys telling me that Steph Curry was rattling off all the reasons the Warriors were going to be better, and Wiggy didn't get a mention. I love that.
I know. He mentioned, I think, 4 assistant trainers, a couple G League guys he saw in training camp.
Oh man, unbelievable.
Well, what are your thoughts on the Mike Zimmer, Kirk Cousins timeout gate here now? That Kirk Cousins is saying, listen, I don't call the timeouts. Mike calls the timeouts, and Mike comes out yesterday and says, Well, that's a miscommunication. He can absolutely call timeouts. How do two guys, after 4 years, not know who can call a timeout in a 2-minute drill? Explain that to me.
I and Judd and I were talking about this yesterday. It seemed to me like maybe a month ago, Cousins got yelled at by Zim for calling a timeout. So Cousins started pouting and says, I mean, what quarterback in the history of the NFL hasn't had the right to call a timeout in that play? But it was almost like Cousins is saying, all right, it's up to you.
But is he doing that? Because I agree. Like if he wanted to call a timeout, he could have called a timeout, and he didn't, right? So is he not calling a timeout because he's just, hey, I just work here, guy, or was he doing it to basically show up Mike Zimmer?
B, I think. That's my guess. B. I think there's no way Kirk Cousins, even though he isn't the greatest competitor in the history of man, doesn't want to try to throw a couple of passes in the last 25 seconds, right?
You'd think.
Well, and the end of the second half in the past two games worked out just fine, right? Here's the best part, though, and this is why, among the many reasons I don't want Zim fired, I have never seen, and it's going to get better, two guys back the bus over each other more than these two. Like, this is going to continue. Like ordinarily it's Mike threw Kirk under the bus. That's terrible. But then Kirk jumps in the driver's seat and he backs over Mike. And then Mike's like, screw you, I'm going to back over. And this is going to continue. And it's great. It's glorious to watch.
Now, Zim's 10 years younger than me, right? He's a decade younger than me.
Yeah.
But I got a hint for him. When you're old and people are starting to perceive that you're too old, don't tell anybody that you forgot you called a timeout 2 minutes earlier. Don't start talking about what you can't remember, right? Especially if you're a coach who's supposed to have your pulse there. Don't say, I forgot I called. There's got to be some other excuse. Somebody said something into my ear, into my earpiece. Well, what if somebody told him to drop his pants? What if he done it?
Right. That's the best one. He's like, he wouldn't.
Him, get undressed real quick.
but he, because he didn't say who it was, but he said, somebody told me to call a timeout, so I did. It's like, you're the head coach, dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it was.
Put your left hand in, put your left hand out.
Yeah. Well, at least we have the Gopher basketball to be excited about. Hard-fought exhibition victory over St. Paul Concordia, which
13-point win over St. Paul Concordia.
17 or something, and St. Paul they got out-rebounded by St. Paul.
Yes.
Concordia.
What?
Yes, they got outscored in the second half, right, Pat?
Oh no.
Yes.
I thought I read Marcus's story. Outscored in the second half.
That's not.
And
good.
they also claimed 9,000 people. They were either going out and giving people money to come in, or they were fudging something fierce. I'm sure they let everybody in for free, the students and stuff.
I saw a photo of a driving Gophers basketball player to the rim, and I thought, oh, did they have the arena closed because of COVID still?
I got a hunch it was not 9,000 people. I don't think we're going to get real attendance this year. It's going to be you see the backgrounds of these players, and it's Pitino. Let's face it, I was not a Pitino guy, and it was time to go. But look where his transfers are from: New Mexico, North Carolina, Arizona, places like that. We got him from William and Mary and Lafayette, and the kid from Northern State in Aberdeen who got hurt, and I can't imagine. There could be they get a home game with Northwestern, and Northwestern's terrible, and they shoot well and beat them, but this is going to be beyond disastrous way for a young guy to start his career.
And Pat, this might be the first time that on their roster they start a season I recognize almost nobody.
Well, here's the other
two guys.
Okay, Liam Robbins probably wanted to raise his draft profile, so he left or something. But why? Where did all these guys go? Why did they leave? They're mediocre players at Minnesota. They're going to go somewhere and sit on the bench or go to some third-rate conference. Why did everybody leave?
It is
I
weird.
don't understand it.
Were they that loyal to Pitino? I guess
The Mashburn kid went down and played with him, but he's down there. But no, I don't know. It's just when 3 or 4 of them left, everybody said, "Well, the hell with it. I'm getting out of here." I mean, Terrence Williams left, for goodness sakes. He could have been your starting. He could have gotten 20 shots a game if he wanted. What the hell? I don't understand.
So you don't have any faith in the veteran presence of 43-year-old Eric Curry to help lead this team?
Yes, I still can't figure out if it's the player or my friend the ref. I can't figure out which Eric Curry it is. Wow.
I mean, Eric Curry is 23 years old now. I believe he's had 2 redshirt injury seasons.
Yes, and the poor guy. Now you're going to play him 26, but what are the odds of him making it to the finish line?
Well, here's the thing, so he's only played. So he played last year. He played 29 games, but he didn't play in 2019-20. So he played 15 games in 2018, basically. Like that's how
he
far
wanted
back
to be a coach.
Yes,
he was going to be on the coaching staff.
They begged him to play.
They're like, no, dude, we need you.
Idea. You're my starting center.
Yeah, they begged him to play. It's incredible, though. I recognize almost nobody.
No, nobody. Marcus Fuller is the only guy in town who knows who any of these guys are. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's rough. Now they do have it looks like they are for the 2022 class. There are some, of the 10 best players in Minnesota, like at least 3 of them are already committed to play. So there should be some guys coming in for next year. Yes. But my God.
Yeah, I mean they didn't. I still think Jalen Suggs taking that shot at Pitino was that I would have came here. I dreamed of playing in Minnesota. What a load of crap that was. And I don't know why he did it. I think that I know that some of the people that ran his AAU team were not fans, and this was kind of a last shot to take at him. But he said that, and who else?
Guys joined in then and said, we were coming there.
Wright said that too.
And listen, Pitino used to be my guy about 6 years ago. But how do you have? I can see if the AAU and the high school coaches are just kind of like, we don't hate him, but but it's almost like the key high school programs and AAU programs in the state just despise him. How do you not build those relationships over 6 or 7 years?
Especially the AAU guys. I mean, he got along with the Pulley guy, but the Pulley guy started the Division I became the place where all these kids were playing. The real high profile guys, and for some reason he couldn't. I don't think he ever got a player out of the Division I program. Maybe I'm wrong, but
you guys
going to AAU.
We got Jelly Bean. We went to New York City. What the hell are you guys talking about?
It's Jelly Fam, and he is Mr. Basketball in New York.
Jellyfish came here.
Playing. He might still be playing because he might have got a COVID year. He was somewhere. I think he transferred twice since
he's 32 now?
He said transferred somewhere.
I'm looking him up right now just because we got to have this information.
So
he went to Iona. Did he? Wait,
I think he's a Gale. Yeah, I think he's a Gale. He might still be eligible. He might still.
Didn't Rick Pitino? Where'd Rick Pitino go, Coach?
Yes, but
did he play for Rick Pitino?
No, I don't think he played there last year. I think he was somewhere. Maybe.
He was at Iona in. Oh my God! All right, so he was at Iona in 2019-20, and then guess where he played last year?
Don't know. Adelphi or someplace.
He played for Dan Munson at Long Beach State.
Is that
University.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder if he's got another year left. He might have another year because of COVID.
How about that? Dan Munson's been 14 seasons at Long Beach State for Dan Munson. Wow.
Say, where does Jelly Fam rate in our instant excitement? In our build-up.
Yeah.
Probably rates with the quarterback. Who was the quarterback from the junior college? Vic, what the hell? What was that kid's name? Remember? and he never played, but he was going to be the guy. And I don't know if he was even PJ or the other or Clays or who it was, but
that's where
Seth Green.
No,
he was Oregon transfer.
No, this was a guy from California, Vic.
Oh, okay. I know you're talking about.
Yeah. He was good. I mean, we get.
That's where Sid was key, Pat.
We got Vic.
That's where we missed Sid, because Sid was the one. He was the conduit to tell us who was coming in from the draft class, who was going to be like a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, that was true. So anyway, they're voting in Minneapolis today, and the entire metropolitan area should be nervous. So let's see what happens. So,
all right,
I'm going downtown. I'm taking my chances, and I'm heading downtown, and let's all remain peaceful. Just driving around South Minneapolis right now, you got about a 35% chance of getting your car hijacked, but that's okay. What the hell?
Well, good luck out there.
All right,
and good luck to the Long Beach States, whatever their nickname is, and Dan Monson.
Jelly Roll.
Entering
good
year
luck
15.
To Jelly Roll.
Come on, Timberwolves. This can't be it. It can't be another one of these. It cannot be another one of these. You got to be on the edge of making the top 10. This can't be another 31-51. Come on, let's go.
Let's get at least 33 this season.
Okay.
That's the goal. All right, Pat. All right, that's
Be
Patrick
safe,
Reusse.
Bye.
All right, Mackey and Judd. Patrick Reusse.